So you say you can do your job from anywhere, but your boss still wants you to come to the office. How the heck can you get your boss to see that they should let you work from home? That's what I'm going to tell you in this video with 10 ways to get your boss to let you work from home. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe because I do a lot of weekly tips on how to become a digital nomad or how to sustain the location-independent lifestyle. So let's get into it. How can you convince your boss that you don't need to come to the office to get your work done? The first thing you need to do is evaluate the nature of your job. Can it be done remotely? You just need to look at your daily duties and see what is the reason, if any, that your boss is requiring you to come from the office. If you didn't go to the office for a day or a week or a month, would you still be able to do your job? Make sure you think about that first. Now, it might not even be a technical job. Just any job where you can just do it digitally or online would work. The second thing to think about is anyone else from your company working at home? So maybe if you're not in tech support, for example, but you can still do your job from home, let's say it's in marketing or something like that, maybe nobody on the marketing team is allowed to work remotely, but maybe there are some people on tech support who are. So take a look at your organizational chart and see if there's anybody who's already working remotely and who's responsible for that in the organization. The third thing to think about is, what is your company culture like? Can you see your company adopting a remote work policy for everybody in the next couple years? Is that something that you think that they would be open to? Or is this a company that's really old, really well established, and really kind of stuck in the past? If you think that there's going to be a big hurdle to changing the company culture, then keep that in mind because we'll get to that later at the end of the video, but that might be something that you can't surpass. The fourth thing to do is create a plan for yourself. Be proactive. If you were your boss, what would you tell yourself in answering this question of, can I work from home? So basically, manage yourself. Look at your daily activities and create a plan for you to be able to do your job from home, and proactively think of some accountability measures that you can pitch to your boss that can allow them to track it without your boss having to come up with that for you. So basically, do as much of the work as you can in advance of asking so that your boss just has to say yes or no and not come up with a whole process, policy, or procedure for you to do your job from home. The next step is to actually go to the decision maker. Now, this is step 5. So before you even ask if you can work from home, you really want to go through those first few steps to make sure that you've thought everything out and you can be prepared for any pushback. So go to the decision maker and ask them for a trial run. Maybe start with a half a day or 1 day of working from home and see how it goes. Pitch them a specific time period, maybe 1 month or something like that, so that there's not so much at risk for the employer. Again, you're going to want to offer your plan, right? Your accountability plan, deadlines, solutions for communication, meetings, things like that. Just offer that in advance before they ask or have any rebuttals. The next step, number 6, is to do it. Prove yourself. So this means you're going to have to completely overperform. So on that half day or that 1 day that you're allowed to work remotely every week, you want to do the best you can. Of course, you want to do this at work as well, but you want to make it a seamless transition so that your boss doesn't notice a difference in the quality of your work between working at home and working in the office. In fact, it would be ideal if your work actually was better when you are working remotely, and it also fits in with scientific studies as well. Working from home allows you to concentrate better, get into the flow better, and accomplish more deep work compared to the many, many distractions of the office that everybody knows about. We don't need to go into those. So after actually doing it, proving yourself, rising to the occasion, and getting shit done, you want to push the envelope a little more. So this is step number 7. So increase the amount of time that you work from home. So it depends on your organization how much of like a trial period you'll need with the first day or so. It might take weeks, it might take months for your employer to feel comfortable with giving you a little bit more leeway, but eventually you want to ask if you can maybe work at home half of the week or something like that. Find some middle ground between part-time and not at all. And then again, give it some time. Maybe you've been at your job for 3 or 5 years. So you don't really want to expect them to be okay with a huge change overnight, but still, something is better than nothing. At least 1 day a week or a couple days a week over the next few months or a year is a huge improvement over nothing. Also, things should be going pretty well at this point. So the next thing that you can try, which is another step in between a regular job and becoming a digital nomad, is to pitch a workation to your boss. So what is a workation? It's a working vacation. So if let's say there's a conference that you want to go to, or you can look at one of the really cool workation companies like Unsettled or Wi-Fi Tribe that have weekly and monthly programs that include your internet, co-working space, housing, and activities with a group of other like-minded entrepreneurs. You can pitch this to your boss as another trial. So either 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month where you can go and actually work from another country remotely or another city remotely, and you can kind of pitch it as a way for you to get more inspiration, more innovation, more creativity for the company, and you'll be working full time. You'll just be from a different place. And there's plenty of options, and I'll link to some of them below as well. And this is a really good way to expand from just a day or so to a week or a month of working remotely. And honestly, it should go really well because you'll be invigorated in a new environment with really cool people, high-speed internet, and you should be super productive. So at this point, things should be going pretty well, and you should be able to continue adding more and more remote time to your schedule. Now, if you've gotten to this point, or you never got this far in the process, and your company is just really restrictive and not allowing you to do it, then maybe revisit it and allow some time to go by and revisit it again. Or show them some articles and some research about how much money companies save and how much happier and productive their employees are when they're able to work remotely. I actually recently wrote an article called Why It's Time for Companies to Embrace Remote Work. So I'll link to that below as well, and you can show them there's actually science behind this. Or if, let's say you're in a tech company, you can look at a list of fully remote companies and show that there's really successful startups and established tech companies that have fully distributed work teams. So try to be diplomatic about this, but these are a couple of ways to convince your employer to at least give it a shot. I mean, if other companies in the same industry are doing it, innovating and crushing it, then maybe your company should too, and maybe it would help them compete better and innovate better. Finally, if that doesn't work, my last tip is to think about getting a different job. So if you're in a company that just doesn't get it and they want to stay stuck in the 1960s, then start looking at other job opportunities where you can take your skills and expertise, maybe update your resume, and apply for jobs at fully distributed companies. I mean, there's plenty of companies, even Dell is forecast to have 50% of its employees working remotely in the next year or so. So there's companies from every industry that either have a certain percent of their workforce being remote or all of them. So if you keep hitting walls, then maybe, it's time to stop beating a dead horse and try a different route, which is actually considering seriously exiting your company and getting a job in a similar capacity with a company that's more open-minded, forward-thinking, and innovative. So those are my tips for how to convince your boss to let you work from home. Have you tried it? And if so, how did it go? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, for more tips, videos, and discussions about what it's like to be a digital nomad, how you can get there, and how you can stay there, make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell, obviously, to get notifications. See you guys on the next video.